find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Welcome into the Gibson Fantasy Football Podcast.
Woo!
Joined by my man, Mr. Birthday himself, back for his second round.
Second round. Sorry I fucking missed last week. It would have been a fun one to go to.
Yeah, it might be for the best, man. We had I had enough time containing those two hooligans and trying to get through it in less than an hour.
Yeah, that was a long one, man. It was fun to watch, though. That was good.
It was fun. It was, but I was like, I don't know how much of this is meaningful conversation. We're just sitting there shooting the shit for half of it. And I had to pause it because Cash, under his altered state, kept taking me on tangents about random shit, and I was like, I gotta pause this, man. Nobody wants to hear this.
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah,
I was looking forward to hearing the story too, man. I was getting ready, and then it just like clipped over to the next. Like, Kreger came back, and fuck, it was funny.
Yeah, no, it was a bit of a shit show, but it was a good time.
Oh yeah.
We'll get her back on the straight and narrow this week, while we also still have some fun.
Oh yeah, week 11, man. Fuck. That's a big fuck for both
That's
of us.
the way I would also describe week 11.
Oh, man.
It was enjoyable for some, but not for the two of us.
What a week though, man. Like, the matchups were some tough, like, tight matchups. Like,
Yeah.
Kudos to fucking Aaron, man. He went off this week.
Well, let's go there for a sec, because that's, I feel bad for Justin, man. Two highest scoring teams are in the same matchup, and whenever the first and third highest scoring. Yeah, I mean, things started out, so we knew when we profiled this matchup that the Thursday game was going to be massive because it was Philly and Washington, which meant Daniels, Smith, Barkley, and the Philly D for Justin. And honestly, it was looking pretty rough because nobody was doing a whole heck of a lot. And then in the fourth quarter, Justin's week turned on a dime because Barkley ran in two tutties. And Daniels threw for a late touchdown. And all of a sudden, things were looking pretty good.
Yeah, it was crazy week, man. I mean, if Justin had his Jamar Chase go off this week, it would have been completely different.
I mean, he was still good, 7 for 75 and 2.
Yeah, he was really good, but he wasn't nuclear. If he went
nuclear, not like last week. And Aaron, man, the power of the Detroit running game. 75 yards and 2 tutties for Monty. And his quarterback, man, Tua, 288 and 3 after kind of looking pretty sluggish for the first bit there. And his tight end, man, 13 for 126 and 1, broke the record for yards for a rookie tight end.
That's wild. Yeah, Bauer's there. Fuck.
Yeah. And then to wrap it up on Monday, just to put the emphasis, Houston D with 5 sacks and a fumble recovery touchdown against Dallas.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's wild.
It was a hell of a week. And yeah, I mean, like I said, Chase, Barkley.
He didn't even have Taysom Hill, man. He had Taysom Hill on his bench.
I know.
Like,
he was the highest. Taysom Hill was the highest scoring fantasy player, man, on the week.
That's insane. Imagine if he had him in, like, for instead of Debo, he would have put up like 150 points, man, like 160. It would have been nuts.
Yeah, he would have broke the record for most points scored in a week this season.
Yeah. What is the record anyway?
I think it was me in week 2 or whatever it was against Brody, 160 something, 162.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was my one and only champ of the week. So.
Yeah.
The good old days.
I haven't been there in a while either.
No,
Only
I
had
hear that,
one
man.
week.
Yeah, 100 points somewhere in that like 95 to 110 range has been my life for the past 6 weeks. There's none of this 130, 140 shit.
Yeah, it's just players going off, man. Like just nuclear, Like Taysom Hill went nuclear last week.
Yeah. And
Or this
so
week.
let's go next to the biggest gap of the week, which was actually Kreger and Cash. And this is a shocker, man. You know, we talked about it coming in, even on the podcast. Kreger was like, I'll see what I can do. I might have to make a trade. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to beat you, but I'm gonna do my best. And dude, he fucking spanked him.
He did. He had a Kreger had a great week, man. Like
He did.
some of Cash's decisions were a little like I'm surprised. I mean, he had some down weeks though. From like Patrick Mahomes had a down week. Obviously, they got shit on by the Bills.
Lamar, I mean, yeah.
Oh yes. Well, yeah, Patrick Mahomes too, right? He only put up.
Well,
17
that's
fantasy.
true. Yeah, couldn't have been
But
played
yeah,
him either.
Lamar also had a rough week, and they were against the Steelers there. Like, oof. Mark Andrews
There was a
finally
spread.
came down back to earth.
Yeah, I wondered because there was two things working against him. One,
Yeah,
Lamar's never had a good game against the Steelers, and he's 1-3 against them.
that's
Two,
true.
Isaiah Likely was coming back, and he took snaps from Andrews when he was healthy. And
Yeah.
so, and then the Tucker, man, Tucker missed like 2 field goals.
Oh man, dude, the
And I
kickers are
think
just
maybe an extra
unreliable.
point.
Yeah,
They were so good for like the first 5 or 6 weeks. Kickers are making 50+ yard field goals like they're chip shots. And
yeah.
now they're
Now they're
like
missing everything.
everything. It's like 15 to 20 misses from kickers every week. It's
It's actually
outrageous.
insane. It's insane.
It's like
But
it's affecting games, man. Because I mean, Baltimore had to go for 2 at the end and try to tie it. If they would have
yeah,
had any of those field goals, they could have won the game with that touchdown.
yeah, easily. Speaking of kickers, Kreger's kicker went off, man. Boswell, holy shit! I think that might be the highest the kickers like put up in our league. This 24 points.
Second
That's insane.
highest. I checked it because I wondered that myself.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, that's what happens when Pittsburgh says, to win the game, we will kick 6 field goals.
Yeah, sounds like my Vikings last week, man. That's all they could do is kick field
Yeah,
goals.
was it 4 last week to win 12-6?
Yeah. Crazy, actually crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, Kreger, really, the kicker and Joe Mixon, man,
Mixon went off.
140, 153 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's insane. Insanity.
Yeah, it's just there's not much you could do. That guy's on fire right now.
Yeah. Cash's team they just had it really down bad, man.
You know, it's crazy too. Like 95 points is not that bad of a week, but this week it was actually the loser of the week score.
Was it actually? Wow, 95 points was the loser of the week.
Yeah, everybody cleared 100 but Cash.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was the highest scoring week in that sense, like from the floor that we've had all year.
Yeah, that's Cash's first loser of the week too, man.
Yeah, only you and Justin remain. It's people that haven't been on there.
Yeah. Ah, man, I hope I don't, but you never know, man. It's been dicey these last couple of weeks.
We'll go over to Don and Ryan, and this was the battle of the gooses. Don got nothing out of Ricky Pearsall. Ryan got nothing out of Tucker Kraft. I feel a little bad for that because, Pearsall's somebody that I had mentioned, but yeah. Tough times. I was like, oh no. I don't feel great about it. I got a bit of a guilty conscience because I was like, oh yeah, he'd be a good picker. But yeah, no, it came down to the final game, which was the kicker for Dallas. And he made a 50-yard field goal in like the second quarter and then did nothing. And so, I mean, Ryan would have won. We won by like 2.1 points.
Yeah, 2 points there.
So super lucky. But yeah, Higgins and McConkey went ham for him in that Sunday nighter to give him a chance to win.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I had T Higgins was actually one of the guys that I drafted, but I dropped him because he was I think he was injured for a little while, and then he was shit the first like 2 weeks he was back, and then I was like, fuck him, I don't want him anymore. And then he had a good week after that, and He's been pretty steady. Pretty steady.
When he's healthy, he's good. But that's just like that rarely happens. That's the problem,
True.
man. That's the problem with the Bengals too, because they franchise tagged him because they didn't know if they wanted to sign him or not. And now they're
Yeah,
sitting there like, when you're on the field, you're worth every penny, but you play like half the season. So how do you pay the guy top dollar when he might not be available for half the year?
yeah, exactly. Speaking of Ryan's team, though, his running backs, man, fucking James Cook played really well. You gave him to him.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry had actually an off week though this week, man. The King. No
Yeah, the whole Ravens offense was struggling, man. They were just having a tough day moving the ball.
Yeah.
We'll get to that here in a minute with your man Zay Flowers, who
Oh,
also had a struggle bus this week. He caught the touchdown though. That saved you, so that was okay. But
yeah, it saved me for
unfortunately,
bittersweet victory for for Justin there. Or Jay, sorry, Jay. It was against Jay.
yeah, I mean, despite him finding the end zone and some late heroics from Josh Allen that made it look like, because we were watching that Bills game and it was like, oh man, Josh Allen with the big touchdown at the end, and it's like, well, there it is. And then the pick at the end for the Bills, and we're like, man, Burrow's gonna have to put up like 27 points. Like this one's over, right?
Oh, I know. Honestly, that my running backs let me down this week. I put in the wrong running backs because if I put in Swift, I would have had it. But yeah, my running backs let me down. Fucking Aaron Jones, man. It might be time to get rid of him. I'm not gonna lie. I hate getting rid of my Vikings. So fuck.
That's tough, man.
Commitment,
And
man. Commitment.
he was banged up with a rib injury too, so I feel like once they got up, they were just
yeah,
like, Cam Akers, here you go.
Yeah. It's
Tough, man.
it's tough. It was a tough week for fucking you and me, man. Tough weeks.
Yeah, so that was the other one. I was doing pretty good. I mean, things started off pretty good on Thursday. I got 9 points out of Brown. He got like 1.5 out of McLaurin. So I was like, okay. And then
Yeah.
things were running pretty good. And then the touchdowns started flowing. Amon-Ra touchdown and Jacobs touchdown. And then another touchdown late for Amon-Ra. And then Sunday night rolled around and Herbert was going off in the first half. Dobbins was doing nothing. And then they tried to run a play 3 times from the one, didn't get in. And on 4th and goal, they give it to Dobbins and he gets in. And I was like, fuck me. And then Herbert's doing good in the second half. And late in the game, Dobbins runs it in instead of just going down for a knee, and that adds points. And that set up the Nico versus Lamb on Monday. And the Texans didn't need Nico because of Mixon, and Cooper rushed through the ball 55 times, a lot of which went to Lamb.
Yeah. It was tough, man. I thought for sure you had that in the bag, especially because of the down fucking week by Russell Wilson too, only putting up 7 points.
Yeah, I got the huge advantage there, but man, Amon-Ra with fucking 33 points, Jacobs with 21, Dobbins with 18, Lamb with the late 14 to close. Like it was just, I got shit on by Bijan, who I traded for against my Broncos. Hawkinson did fuck all. My kicker did nothing. It was just.
Oh yeah, your kicker was rough, man. Bass missed the fucking one of the field goals there, or no, you missed an extra point right at the beginning of the game there.
Yeah, just to start the game, and it was like, I feel like when that happens, you just know it's gonna be a rough day for the kicker because his confidence is gonna be shook.
Oh yeah, because he's in his head, right? Like the guy fucking the first kick, he's like, oh fuck, I got to make everything else now, and then it's just rough goes.
Well, and then they started just going for it on 4th down, right? Which I mean, when you got Josh Allen, I don't blame him, but it's not good for my kicker.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So tough loss, tough week, and I mean standings, buddy. Holy fucking moly.
Dude, they are tight, man. What a race in the middle of the pack there, too. Even on the top now. Like, I'm not safe anymore first. If I won that last week, I would have been smooth sailing. But, damn, everyone's starting to catch up.
The top 4 teams, we all lost last week. Me, Cash, Justin, and you all lost. So when the top 4 teams lose and 4 of the bottom teams win, things do this.
Yeah, massive changes in the standings, man.
Yeah, so I mean, you're still first at 8-3. Justin's right there at 7-4, and then it's a log jam of Cash, me, Ryan, and Craig at 6-5, and Aaron's one game behind that at 5-6, right? Brody's trying to stay alive at 4-7 with the He's actually got the highest point total in the league, eh? Oh
Brody
no,
does
yeah.
well.
Oh no,
I
sorry,
thought-
that's Cash.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say
he-
I thought Cash still did.
Oh, I was looking at points against. There we go. Yeah, no, so he's got a decent
that,
point
that
total.
makes more sense.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. But he's got more than Aaron and Krager. So I mean, if he could tie them for record wise, we'll see. He's got to win again. But yeah, I mean, you look at it, the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th ranked teams all won, and the top 4 teams lost. So
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
mean, that's a recipe for things getting real tight here.
Dude, these last couple of weeks are gonna have some massive meaning to them too. It makes it a lot more fun though. Like the season's not
It
over
does.
yet.
Well, and I had some stats in our doc that I'll share with folks. So it was called How the Mighty Have Fallen. So the top 3 teams through 5 weeks were sitting at 14-1 collectively. So that was me, you, and Justin. And then now the top 3 teams are 21-12. So they've gone 7-11 since that time. And then similarly, the top 4 teams through 7 weeks were 21-7. And now the top 4 teams are 27-17. They've gone 6-10. So I mean, pretty bad records collectively for the top teams since like week 5 and week 7, right?
That's crazy, man. That's a crazy stat. Losing record since, damn.
Yeah. So and pretty substantially losing record, right? Like 7-11 and 6-10. That's it's a pretty big gap.
Yeah.
So I mean, things are getting real tight, and we'll talk about who's got matchups left, but and then we get to the schedule part. But man, it's anybody's game at this point. And yeah, like you said, like if you got taken down by Cash this week, then that opens up the 1 seed. Like that makes it possible that any of us there in the top kind of 5, 6 could try to sneak in still.
Yeah, it's gonna be a race, man. It's gonna be a race.
Yeah.
Still lots
Big.
of football left though. I mean, not a lot, but still a lot.
Yeah, 3 weeks of our regular season and then playoffs, man. So with the way the matchups have been too and how tight things have been, I mean, I think I said it last week, but like just get in the playoffs. Like
Oh yeah. Just
you want to get the bye with the 1 or the 2 seed, but even if you just get in, anything could happen in those 3 weeks once you get in there.
Yeah, anything can happen, man. Teams are gonna change. It's gonna be fun.
All right, so we covered the champ and loser. So Cash took the L and Aaron took the W, which is probably the opposite of what you thought going into the week, but that was just the way things went.
Crazy.
Who are the leaders this week? Well, Goff, Burrow, and Bo Nix. I'm kind of glad that Jay grabbed
Bo Nix,
Bo
man,
Nix.
your boy.
Dude.
He's been playing well, man.
Balling, man.
Is
Big
balling.
win over the Falcons, and now we got a couple of matchups with the Raiders and the Browns. So we could be 8-5 going into our bye, man.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, man. Bo Nix, he had like 4 passing touchdowns, man. He was on fire. He was just throwing fucking heaters.
I know, man. And so I was kind of glad that I saw Jay pick him up because I'm like, I really don't want any of the competition to have to play against right now. So, Ryan was not sure if he was going to play Jordan Love this week. And I was like, fuck, if he goes and gets Bo Nix, I'm going to stress myself out here because I'm going to be rooting for my Broncos, but not Bo Nix. So I was like, how does this work? Fortunately, Jay got him, and he's got Jared Goff, who's still a good quarterback, but at least I can root against the Lions now.
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, so Nix, Burrow, Goff, who we just talked about, Taysom Hill, who we talked about at tight end, and then Jonnu Smith, man, for the Dolphins was the other one that caught 2 touchdowns at tight end. So bit of a surprise there. Mixon, Barkley, and Breece Hall at running back. So Breece Hall had a huge game for Jay against you with the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, massive. That game was crazy too.
Amon-Ra led the way.
St. Brown, man. That was your boy. That's literally your team name, man.
I know. I have to change my team name. Maybe that's why I lost. I still got the same name.
Yeah, maybe, man.
Cooper Kupp found the end zone twice, and T. Higgins also had a huge day. And then on defense, Aaron's Texans, Broncos on the waivers, and then the Vikings that I had. They came through. Kicker was Craig's kicker, Boswell, and then Gay and your kicker, Bates there.
Yeah, Bates had a good match, but Boswell, man, he was nuts. He was crazy good.
24 points from a kicker, man. We were talking about with Ryan, man. I was like, we might need to adjust the settings for kickers. Like a kicker really shouldn't be able to outscore like every other player on someone's team with 24
Like, yeah,
points.
if you think about it, like Boswell almost like he basically like tripled Russell Wilson. Because Wilson only
Yeah.
put up 7 points, man. Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a crazy competitive advantage, and the kickers' outcomes are so random sometimes, man. But we'll see.
Mhm.
That's a conversation for the offseason. But it does get my goat a bit when like you put together a great lineup and your kicker does shit, and the other person's kicker outscores them by like 10 points, and you're like,
Yeah,
fucking
that's true.
kickers.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's fucking brutal.
All right. Well, let's move forward to week 12 because I think much like me, you can't wait for week 12 to get started so we can forget about week 11.
Dude, I feel ya. Yeah, man. I'm against Cash, man. I'm excited for this one. This one, we're probably gonna do some sort of weird, fucking stupid bet, but I'm down for it, man. I'm fucking down. So I
Yeah,
got
so
I got Cash. I took him out the first time we played, I believe. I think I did.
you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me find it though, just to see what was the matchup outcome because I think
That might have been
thought it
actually
was
my
a bit.
yeah. I think that might have been my
Might have
champ of
been-
the week, maybe.
I
Now that I
think it
think about it.
was. Yeah, I think it was kind of lopsided actually. But I think it would have been week 3 probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was an
so
early
week
week.
3. Oh yeah, 141 to 100. Yeah, you smashed them that week, and
Yeah,
you were
that
the
was the
champ of the
one.
week that week. You're right. So that was yeah, 31 points from Allen, Kyron Williams with 3 total touchdowns, Aaron Jones with a touchdown and over 150 yards, Cole Kmet at tight end, 10 for 97 and 1,
Oh yeah,
Justin Jefferson 6 for 81 and 1. Yeah, you had a
I had a
hell of a
really good
week
week.
there.
That
Yeah.
hasn't happened since
Yeah.
though. Fuck, man, I haven't hit like 120 points in like the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, man. Oh,
Yeah.
it's been rough.
So that was what happened way back when, but that was 9 weeks ago. So as you said, a lot's changed in 9 weeks.
The
It's
team,
an
honestly though,
interesting
9
one.
weeks ago, my team hasn't really changed that too much. Couple players, but not like the core is still there, man. So all the guys that I drafted still there.
It's
JJ,
just
fucking
it's just the way they're performing, right? Like
yeah,
Kyron Williams hasn't scored a touchdown in 3 weeks. Aaron
yeah,
Jones hasn't been getting in the end zone. JJ's been good, but not elite like he was.
yeah.
Allen's been on fire for you.
Yeah, Allen's Allen, man. I've been starting him over Brock Purdy every day of the week.
Except this week.
Yeah, except this week. The
Yeah.
only week I can't start him.
That's right. And I think that's one of the big storylines here, right? So no Josh Allen, no Khalil Shakir. And what actually might be almost as important as Josh Allen is no Bills D, because
Defense, no
that's
defense.
been a huge factor for you, man.
It has been. They've been pretty solid, man. Consistent, very consistent. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell Cash what my plan is for that, but I think I got an idea.
You're gonna have to hunt down a defense here.
Yeah, I gotta hunt down one.
There are some interesting options, I'll say that. So
Yeah, I know. I
Nope.
went through them before the podcast. Fuck, it's not
Yeah.
not the greatest though. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I grabbed the Broncos D because I was debating between them or the Vikings, so that would have been a good one. But there's
Yeah.
2 or 3 that I think are worth taking a shot on.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And then, I mean, for him, he only loses one player that's significant, but it is Alvin Kamara. So,
It is. He's been very good for him too, man. He went nuclear for him a little while ago, so that's a big one to lose.
yeah, I mean, you're looking at 10, 13, 24, 15. So, I mean, his last few weeks,
Yeah.
pretty substantial there. So the fact that you don't have to play against him, that helps your case a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I have a weird feeling he's gonna put Mahomes in though. Mahomes after a loss, man. I have a weird feeling that guy's gonna go off, especially because they're against the Panthers next week.
Panthers, man. The only reason to doubt Mahomes this week is if they get up huge and they just pound the rock with Kareem Hunt late.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's got Lamar in that Chargers matchup that could be a big one.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
anything like the Chargers and Bengals last week, then that could be another shootout.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, Mark Andrews does fuck all again. Love that.
I think you're in good shape with Isaiah Likely back.
Yeah, I think I am too. I'm glad he came back. Actually.
You're like, let me send you some flowers and a get well card.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Um, so that's gonna be a fun one. That's definitely like the two highest seeds playing against each other. And then next to that one would be me and Ryan. So
Yeah.
we're both tied at 6-5. We just traded running backs that are on a bye in Cook and Bijan. But the other piece of my trade that I hadn't thought through entirely was he's without Higgins and now Cook this week, which would have been Higgins and Bijan. And I gave him Chuba and Neighbors to sub in, so I kindly helped fill his roster against me this week, which was maybe not the brightest thing to do in hindsight. I was like, every time I look at that trade, I'm finding different reasons as to why it might not have been the good thing to do, but we'll see.
I mean, it's gonna be funny if he starts worthy or not, because he's been he's had some
Dude,
things in the chat
right?
there.
I know. You look at his point totals: 19, 3, 4, 14, 10, 3, 11, -1,
Minus
1,
one.
14. Like, how do you? I don't know what you do, man. And I said to him when we were chatting on Monday, I'm like, I don't even know if I want you to start him or not. Like, I'm so unclear about what's going to happen if he plays that I'm like,
Dude,
I don't know
knowing
what
your
I'm
luck
rooting
the last couple of weeks, man, he might go fucking nuclear. Who knows? You never
for.
know,
That's
man.
true, right? This will be the first play of the game, catch to against the Panthers' shareable defense, and just down the
Oh,
field.
that's gonna be a fun. That's gonna be a fun one, man. That is gonna be a fun game.
It's gonna be a big
Fun match.
matchup. I think it's gonna come down to the quarterbacks, honestly, because
Yeah, I
I
agree.
got Kyler coming back off the bye, thank goodness. And he's
Yeah,
got Goff, who he picked up, who we just saw what the Lions defense or offense can do. I don't think they're gonna put up 52 points against the Colts because the Colts offense will at least make it a little more competitive and slow them down
yeah,
a bit. But yeah, that's gonna be, I think, the factor because Goff, I mean, he's the type of quarterback that can throw for 4 touchdowns or none. Like you look through
that's
his
true.
log
Yeah.
and his touchdown totals, they're like 1, 0, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4.
Dude,
So it's just like you never quite know what you're gonna get because Montgomery and Gibbs are so good. So
that's a
gonna
question mark.
be
That's gonna be a question mark for sure.
I'm be
But
rooting for the rushing attack there for sure.
yeah, I forgot he's got a King Henry, man. He had down weeks. So you never know. This guy could fucking go off.
I know. I don't like playing
That's
against
that's a
Derrick Henry.
yeah. That's scary. That's scary to fucking go up against Derrick Henry. He's always scary to go up against, man.
I know. There's about 10 players in the league that when you look at the other team and they have them, you just quiver a little and you're like, "Oh, I just know what
Yeah,
that guy's capable of like 40 points on any given week." And it's terrifying. He's one of those
yeah,
guys for sure. I'm gonna have to
yeah.
hope that some of my guys here bounce back. Like I had a better week out of AJ Brown. That game should be more competitive, so hopefully that'll work out. And better week out of Nico now that he's at full health and no touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah, man. And your boy Devon Chain there, he's been really good for you actually. I'm looking at his stats right now. He's had a couple
You know,
down weeks,
I,
stretch there,
I,
but he's been pretty consistent.
yeah, I mean, since Tua came back and he got back off the bye, right? So Tua came back, I think week 8. So I mean,
Yeah,
23, 28, 7, and 18 since Tua came back since I traded for him. So I think that's can't be too mad about that. But yeah, really the only thing I'm waiting on is if my kicker's healthy because I grabbed the kicker for Washington that I really like, but he's
yeah,
been injured. So I'll have to get a new one if not. And then I got a debate between playing your Vikings or my Broncos at the defense position. That's one I'll deliberate on for another 3 or 4 days here.
yeah, yeah. That's gonna be a
So
tough. No, we'll see. The
big
Vikings, man,
matchup
I'm
there.
they don't look like the same Vikings they did at the beginning of the year.
No, man. I that's why like I grabbed them because they were so elite when your team was on that huge winning streak, right? Like early in the year. I mean, they've still been good. Like points total for the Vikings defense has been 11, 13, and 11 the last few weeks. So can't
Yeah.
bitch about that from your defense, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
And
see.
then and the next most competitive after that would be Krager and Aaron.
Krager and
So
Aaron,
a battle of the brothers here, who squared off, and Krager took that one down the first time as the elder statesman. But he's feeling it because he's got no Drake London, no Darnell Mooney, so he's got to make some pivots there at wideout. And Garrett Wilson, Brian Thomas Jr., Braylon Allen, Tyler Algier. So I mean, he's got 6 players on a bye, so he's gonna have to probably drop some folks and make some moves here. He does get Baker back off the bye, which is a big upgrade because Stroud, since Mixon's gone ham, he's just been doing shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, he's got a lot of people on buys. That's gonna be a rough week.
Yeah.
I know how that feels. I had a rough week with all my Vikings on the bye, and I was struggling.
That was me last week, man. 5 players on a bye. It's rough. It's
Yeah.
it makes lineup decisions tricky. And I mean, Aaron, on the other hand, he loses Taysom Hill, so I guess he can't make a wrong decision this week at tight end. But other than that, you know, not too much he can really pivot or muss around with. But for him, I mean,
that's pretty healthy.
If Tua and Tyreek can continue to get on the same page there, and Montgomery's been dominant, Bowers, Walker have been good, Debo's been kind of shit, but Houston's got another good matchup against Tennessee. That's gonna be interesting because he's got the Houston kicker and the Houston defense, and then Krager's got the Houston running back in Joe Mixon.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. That's going to be a fun. I think this one's going to be a fun matchup. I honestly, depending on the moves that Krager makes, I think I'm going to go with Aaron here.
I think so too, man. I think he's got a solid team here, and his team's starting to hit the stride. Because I mean, part of his issue early in the year was Tua got hurt, and then Tyreek was unreliable, and he kind of went random with Caleb Williams and Sam Darnold and different quarterbacks, and so now he's got Tua still locked in. Tyreek Hill's back. He's got the tight end locked down with Bowers. So if he can iron out the kinks here, he's got a dangerous team.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. I don't think wait. What was the last? Oh, we did your matchup last, right? Yeah, we did yours.
Yeah,
I didn't see who I thought was gonna win here. Honestly, I'm probably gonna go with you, to be honest. Unless Brian has some crazy some crazy weeks from people. I don't know. I'm liking your options, I think, a little bit more. And I think I like your QB a little bit more as well, Kyler Murray. I really like him actually as a player. He's really shifty.
I know. And he's got a great schedule down the stretch here, which was one of the things when I was looking around at quarterbacks down and thinking like, do I pivot off of Kyler at all? But I mean, some of the teams here, aside from your Vikings, he's got, and whose defense we just talked about hasn't been as scary. I mean, Seahawks, Vikings, Seahawks, Patriots, Panthers, Rams. Like
Rams.
Those are all good defenses that you could throw on and have some success. So I like where it's headed. If I can make a run here, I think between him and McBride. Dude, fun stat for you. Trey McBride coming into this week was the tight end too, and he's yet to catch a touchdown this year.
Yet to catch a touchdown. Wow.
He's got a rushing touchdown and a fumble recovery touchdown, but 0 receiving touchdowns. But he's a tight end too. I was like, man, if he could just get some touchdowns here in this next few weeks, he's gonna be fucking dangerous.
Yeah, that's actually insane. That's a crazy stat. That's actually a crazy stat.
Because I mean, like he's at 49 receptions for 552 yards, which is pretty impressive, but no touchdowns. It's like,
wow, that's wild, man. He needs fucking Kyler throwing the ball.
Honestly, man, just find him.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to.
That wraps that one up. What's the last one? We got Dawn, right?
We got 2, man. So we got Justin and Brody. So we got the battle of the buddies here, the 2 PEI Islander buddies. And so the big news here is Justin gets no Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, or McPherson because the Bengals are on a bye. No Chase Brown or no Jamar Chase, man. That stings.
Yeah, no Jamar Chase. The only good thing is that he still has Barkley, and Barkley can go nuclear at any time.
Yeah, I mean he can replace Chase Brown with James Conner, so that's not it's
Yeah,
no problem there. You can go find a kicker. That's not really too big of a deal. But
yeah.
to replace Jamar
Yeah.
Chase, I mean he's got like Calvin Ridley, Jacoby Myers. He's got some options, but you just can't replace
Can't
what Jamar
replace
Chase does.
Chase. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah. But
we
Byweek's
just saw.
killing some guys here, man. Byweek is killing some teams.
I know. We just saw what Brody's team can do. I'm curious to see if he pivots at quarterback or not, because Russ had a shit
Yeah,
week last week, and so it'll be
did.
interesting to see if he wants to roll the dice again tomorrow night against Cleveland or if he wants to pivot.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd be pivoting. I don't know if I want to trust Russ, but
hard to tell. I mean, they're against the Browns, right? So I mean,
yeah. I mean, the Browns are pretty terrible,
yeah. And
but
honestly, that's a dice roll again, man. That's another dice roll, I think.
I think that's the key, right? Is Brody's quarterback, because if his
Yeah,
quarterback can somehow keep pace with Jaden Daniels, who's been a lot
on
less.
fire.
Yeah, I mean he was killing it, and then he's had a couple of bad weeks here, but he'll
Yeah.
probably do great against Dallas because Dallas is trash.
Oh yeah, Dallas is dog shit. I honestly, I don't
Bad.
know. They're terrible, man. Like they're like, well,
It's hard to
I don't.
watch. Seriously,
I honestly don't know who. This is a tight one.
it
I'm
is.
thinking the same thing with QB. I kind of like Brody's team just because
He's got all his
Justin,
studs.
yeah, he's got all the studs playing. Justin just lost like Jamar Chase. I don't know. This is gonna be a tough one, but I think as of right now, I think I'm gonna go with Brody here for this matchup.
I would too. I would prefer him with a different quarterback, but even with
Yeah,
Russ, I think that he could get the job done.
yeah, man. The bye weeks are just taking a toll on teams here.
Which would be good for us because that would mean Justin loses and we would get a chance to gain some ground
Yeah,
there.
that is true.
Sorry, yes. Somebody's got to be sacrificed, man.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
all right. Last but not least, the battle of the bottom feeders here at 9th and 10th place. We've got Don and Jay squaring off, and
Yeah,
credit to Jay who was like, I could still play spoiler and spoiled, and now has been very active, man. He went out and got
yeah,
Bo Nix. He went out and got Will Disley at tight end. He went out and
yeah.
got the Steelers defense. He's been
He's playing to hunt teams down, man. You love
yeah.
to see it though. You love the spoilers. Sometimes the spoilers
I
so
know.
much play.
Yeah, because you have nothing to lose, right? You're like, well, if I lose, I mean, I'm already out. If you
Yeah,
lose, well, you're gonna be fucking pissed, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, it's
So
his team's looking rearranged. Let's say.
it is rearranged, yeah, for better
Yeah,
or for worse, right? I mean, losing Joe Burrow, that's kind of like losing Jamar Chase. There's just no
yeah.
replacement there the way
Can't
Burrow's been. Bo Nix has been pretty awesome, though. I mean,
He
28
has been
points,
good.
16 points, 18 points, 29 points. Like he's been crushing it.
And they're against the
So I think
Raiders,
it was,
so that should be a
yeah.
fun match.
Don's just got to get a new defense and get Ricky Pearsall the hell out of there and get somebody else in. But
Yeah, yeah, get him out. Stop listening to you, I guess. Fuck.
yeah, yeah, I'm the guy who's making bad moves and trades. You probably should forget whatever I say.
Yeah,
Don't
she got.
advertise that though. I get paid to tell people who to start on Sunday, so
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
But I
she's
do
got
a better job of that than I do my own lineup, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a look here at Christian McCaffrey since he's come back. He's been okay. He hasn't been
Yeah,
crazy, but
not the CMC you hoped for, but part of it is like touchdowns, right? So I
yeah,
mean, first
true.
week, over 100 scrimmage yards,
No
6
touchdown.
receptions, no touchdowns. Last week, over 100 scrimmage yards, 4 receptions, no
No
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
So
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like the Vikings there, where like the offense just isn't humming quite right for the 49ers, and you're used to them putting up 30 a game, and they've been putting up like 20-ish.
20-ish, yeah. And their run game's usually nasty, especially with Christian McCaffrey too. So I don't know. I think it's just a matter of time. I think these next couple of weeks he's going to start popping off.
I wouldn't be surprised, right? And against Green Bay, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. They're, both
Yeah.
teams, they have good defenses, but not as elite as they once were. And so
Yeah. Buffalo's going to be a tough one. I mean, Chicago, they should run through. The Rams, Miami, and the Lions, those last 3 games are going to be fun ones, I think.
dude, man, they got a rough schedule, the 49ers. Like this, they're
Yeah.
not even a guarantee to get in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That is wild.
You
I
know,
hope they do. I like the 49ers. They're actually like my second favorite team behind the Vikings.
me too, man. Like I don't know about second favorite, definitely one of my favorites. But they're last in their division right now?
Last place? No way. Is that actually true?
Because it's a tie. Because like
Oh, really?
that division is so tight that basically here, I'll pull it up for a sec. If you're looking to, you feel free. But Cardinals 6-4, Rams 5-5, Seahawks 5-5, 49ers 5-5. But because they lost to the Seahawks and the Cardinals, their division record is bad. So as of right now, they're in last place at a 5-5 record.
That's actually insane to see that. That's usually the 49ers are like fucking up there, man. Damn.
Yeah. I know.
Oh man, yeah, they have a tough schedule, man. That's actually gonna be something to pay attention to down the stretch here.
I know. What's up with my camera? It seems a little fuzzy.
Looks like it lost focus a little bit, but anyway. For this matchup here, I think honestly, I think I'm gonna go with. I don't know. It's kind of tough. This one's a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Dalton here, I think, because I just like I like Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, man.
Cooper Kupp had a good week last week. I mean, Christian McCaffrey's Christian McCaffrey. Honestly, if she picks up a decent defense here, I think I'm gonna go with Don.
Dude, here's another one for you. Jalen Hurts in the past 5 games. Just take a ballpark guess how many rushing touchdowns he has. He's a quarterback, keeping in mind.
Yeah,
right?
he runs though a lot. I'm gonna go with last 5 games. I'm gonna go with 4.
He has 9.
9. Wow.
9. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1.
That's wild.
9. There are running backs that don't have 9 all year and they're starters for their team.
That is nuts, man. I mean, dude, that City game, man. Josh Allen, that last fucking touchdown, man, just ran.
Oh yeah.
God.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game. That felt like a playoff game, man. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Man, I mean, he has. So wait a second. There you go. So this is another one for you. He has 11 rushing touchdowns on the year and 12 passing.
Jalen Hurts does?
Yeah, he's almost rushed for as many as he's thrown.
That's nuts, man. Honestly, that just goes to show you though, like how the game of football's evolved. Like, not a lot of fucking QBs were fucking running the ball like these guys are now.
Never, no. It's unreal, man.
That makes it so much more dangerous though, man, when you can run the ball as a QB, like all these other guys are doing, like all the top QBs running the balls. It brings another element to the game that you got to be careful of, right?
Especially the Eagles with that tush push, man.
Yeah,
or the brotherly shove, as they like to call it.
Yeah, the brotherly shove. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, let's look at what's left down the stretch here, and maybe we do a little prediction as we get through. So you've got arguably your toughest matchup this week against Cash. And then you got to take on Aaron and Brody. So, I mean, that's a tough schedule, man. Those are not cakewalk teams. Well, we just saw Aaron put up the champ of the week score. We talked about how Brody's got some legit players. And obviously, Cash, without Kamara, is a good team. So you got a bit of a tough run to end the year here.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I like my odds against Cash. Screw you, Cash. But
yeah, so I mean, I think you probably go I'll say 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Hard to win all 3 just because anything could happen, but I think you're gonna go 2-1 and probably end up with the 1 seed. I think that's probably what's going to happen. Now, Justin, on the other hand, sitting at 7-4, so he's got Brody and then me. That'd be a fun one, and then
Yeah.
Krager. And so Krager's again always a bit of a wild card there.
Krager is a wild card, man. Like some weeks his team is just fucking ass, and then like other weeks his team is so surprising. Like it's crazy.
It's true. Yeah. So we talked about like last week, he nearly scored the most points with 127.
Yeah.
Yet the week before that, he had 72.
Yeah. Like I don't understand what's changed.
It was the last place team, basically. Like
that's wild. That's actually
insane. It was like a 50-point swing, man.
Yeah. He's had one of those wild card teams where like you don't know what you're gonna get, and you don't know who you're gonna face either. Like you don't know if he's gonna put up 72 against you, or you don't know if he's gonna put up plus 120. Like insane.
It's crazy.
It's fun to watch, though. It is fun to watch. Like do that.
Cash. So Cash gets you. Then he gets Don, who's team is probably better than her record says, but certainly is
prediction for Justin. What do you think it's going to be there?
I think he's going to lose to Brody. I think I'm going to beat him, and then he probably beats Craig. So I'll say he goes 1-2.
Yeah, I was thinking 1-2 as well. 1-2 as well.
Yeah. Cash gets you this week. Then he gets Don, and then he finishes up with Brian. So I mean, two pretty good teams.
Yeah, I think he's going to go 2-1. I think I'm going to dust him, and then I think he's going to dust Don and Ryan. To be honest,
I think 2-1's probably right. So he'd finish at 8-6. I got
maybe not dust him in case I fucking backfire. But I think
I'm gonna hold me to that. But
yeah, I think I'm gonna pull out the win though. That's
yeah. You're not putting the 40-point beatdown that you did in week 3 there.
No, I don't think so. But we'll see. We'll see. They get to go nuclear or something, man. It's a game.
Yeah. So I got Ryan, then I get Justin, and then I get Jay. So. Yeah. I think I could go 3-0 if I get past Justin there, but I'll say 2-1.
I was thinking that. I'm thinking either 3-0 or 2-1, and I think the only person that could really beat you there is Justin, to be honest.
Yeah. Jay's obviously a bit of a wild card as well, but I do think that my team's gonna start to come together here. So I feel pretty good about that. Ryan's got me, then he's got Jay and Cash. So that feels like a 1-2 schedule.
I think so. Yeah, I think he beats Jay. I think you beat him, and I think Cash beats him as well.
Krager's got Aaron, Brody, and Justin. That's not an easy schedule either. Jeez.
Yeah, Krager's got a hard one here, man. Honestly, though, Krager, you never know with Krager, man.
No, man.
You never know. He could go 3-0. He could go 0-3. Like you have no idea. Like his
really
team is just. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm gonna go. I think he's gonna go 1-2. I think
that's what I was gonna say. I think 1-2.
Yeah.
Aaron's got Krager, you, and Don. That's probably a 1-2 schedule as well. I'd say. Yeah. Well, it could be 2-1 though if he beats Krager this week. Maybe 2-1.
Yeah. It's either gonna be 1-2 or 2-1. I think because like Krager's a wild card. You never know. You just never know, man. Brody's got a tough schedule.
Tough one,
I think that's an 0-3 right there, man.
It might be, yeah. Although I think he might sneak one over on Justin this week because of the Jamar Chase thing. So maybe
I think he's either going to go 0-3, or I think he's a possibility of beating Krager as well. So I think he might go 2-1.
Yeah.
I believe in my team. I'm not gonna say people are gonna dust me or anything like that. So I think I'm gonna win against everyone. But.
And then Don's got Jay, Cash, and Aaron. I mean, she could beat Jay or Aaron.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about Cash.
I think Cash, Cash, I think won by a lot against Don last time they played, I think.
Yeah. But that was without McCaffrey, so that's,
Oh, yeah, that's true. And you never know, man. He could go nuclear at any point. You never know.
Any week. He's another, like we talked about Derrick Henry earlier, one of those players you look across and you're terrified. He hasn't shown it yet, but that doesn't mean he can't.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like we're missing, like, what do you miss, like 8 games or something like that, or something like that. Like he's got to get back into it, and he's just gonna be the same Christian McCaffrey that we all know.
Well, and the fact that they are like desperate to make the playoffs, like I think they're gonna keep giving him the ball because they can't let up because it's like we can't preserve him for the playoffs when we're sitting last place in our division.
Yeah, exactly. They need to make a run here, right? So they're gonna make him go, man. They're gonna fucking get him fired up. So yeah, I think Dawn's probably gonna go. I think 1 and 2. I think she's got a chance to
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
A1.
And then Jace wraps up with Don, Ryan, and myself.
Yeah,
That's probably a
that's
1 and 2.
yeah, 1 and 2. So I think the only person that could probably go 0-3 without a win would probably be or not Ryan. Who was the one that had the tough schedule?
Yeah, maybe it was Ryan, me,
Maybe
Jay,
it
and
was
Cash.
Ryan.
Or no, it was
Yeah.
Krager, maybe?
Oh, it's
Aaron.
Krager, yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't put it against him if he fucking went 3-0 either. Like, Krager's team is
Yeah.
wild.
There's definitely no like cakewalks where like you see and you're like, oh, that person's definitely going 3-0 because they don't play any good teams. Like
Yeah, exactly. Well,
everybody's
what was it?
got
It was like Brody went like what 0-4, I think, to start the year or something like that.
yeah.
But he had some massive point totals. Like the guy was facing, like the teams that he faced, I think were like had crazy weeks, just like insane weeks.
Yeah, I mean he's him and I are the him well and now Justin. We've all had over 1,200 points scored against us. Where like Aaron
Wow,
hasn't even hit 1,100 scored against him. Like,
that's yeah,
so
which
I
is
mean the
crazy.
schedule does make a difference, right? But
Yeah, Cash having like over 100, like he's got a lot of fucking points for him, man. Holy, he really
1,300,
does.
man. That's the thing. He's dangerous because if, like, say Justin loses and he wins, he'll move ahead
Yeah,
of Justin because of the tiebreaker, right? So
that's true.
that
And I mean,
point
he's got
total is big.
yeah 6-5. There's like what 4 of you guys are 6-5 right now. So yeah, that point total is massive right now.
Yeah, it's going to keep him in the playoffs, really, is the big thing because it's almost like having an extra win.
Yeah, damn. Oh, here's a fun stat. All right, most moves. Josh with the most with 41 moves.
Yeah,
That is insane. The next person is Don with 24.
yeah,
And then we got Aaron with 20.
yeah.
And then 19, we got Ryan.
Jay, yeah.
Uh, or sorry, Jay. And then Ryan's got
Brody at 18.
yeah, Brody's got 18.
Craig at 17.
Ryan's got the least with 8.
Oh, yeah, that's Justin.
Oh, that's Justin. Sorry. Wait, where the hell's?
Yeah.
Oh, Brody's got 11. Sorry, he's tied with me for the second least.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy man. Like that's a lot of moves. 41. Like the next person down from he's got 24 moves. Like oh,
Yeah, I just rotate guys, man. Bench players, kickers,
yeah,
defenses. You know,
that's
I
a
spent
fun
a
stat.
lot
I
of
didn't
time
know that
trying
was
to
on
figure
there.
out the tight end position this year too, till I traded for
Yeah,
McBride. But
yeah,
yeah, I like to tinker. Probably too much sometimes, but it's what keeps it entertaining.
that's true, man. That is true.
All right, let's wrap up with the Thursday night pick, and then we'll call it a day. So Steelers versus Browns this week. It's not as intriguing as it's been the last couple weeks. This is a pretty
Back
one-sided one.
back to those other Thursday. Remember those other Thursday night games? They were just
Oh
fucking
God,
man. Oh man.
it's hard to watch.
Yeah. Thursday night. I don't know. I think I'm probably gonna go Steelers here because I mean the Browns are
Yeah,
shit. I mean the
yeah,
Steelers are
sadly.
8-2. Honestly, this is a game that Russ is gonna have a good one in. I think this is probably gonna be it. So
I agree.
we'll see. It's gonna be an interesting one for sure.
All right. Well, there you have it. Steelers wins for me and you, let's hope, and good luck to
Yep.
all the others out there.
Alrighty. I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up, buddy.
Clear eyes, full heart, can't
Can't
lose.